Greetings and welcome to our show, Ghosts Are Near, where we discuss all aspects of the paranormal and paranormal investigation. My name is Keith Johnson. With me is my co-host, Sandra Johnson.
Hello again.
We are also the founders of New England Anomalies Research, and we investigate the paranormal. Sandra, could you tell me what your function is in New England Anomalies Research?
Certainly. I am the co-founder of N.E.A.R. I'm also the director and case manager. When someone calls us or contacts us through our website and they're having paranormal phenomena going on in their residence or their place of business, I'm usually the first one to be contacted, and I will do the initial intake for the case and pass all that information along to our founder, Keith, and to the rest of our group.
Mm-hmm. And maybe you can tell our audience how to contact us if somebody would like to get in touch with us.
Oh, sure. Well, address right on the website, on the main page.
Of course, you do a lot more than just case managing as well. When we're on actual investigations, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Well, I like to think I do a little bit more than case managing, yes.
Do a lot more, yes.
Yeah, well, I investigate right along with our other team members. I will usually do the initial interview with the client. I will do videotaping, collect EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, along with the rest of our investigators. Just investigate right alongside everyone else. My hubby here.
Basically, you do it all.
The rest of our group, yes.
Very good. Thank you, Sandra, very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, we have a very special guest, and she is actually a member of our organization, New England Anomalies Research, and she investigates right along with us as well. Her name is Dolores Rinaldi, and Dolores, we'd like to welcome you here with us today.
Thank you, Keith, Sandra.
And thank you very much for being our guest.
It's a pleasure.
Now, could you start out by telling us a little about what first got you started in paranormal investigation? What was your initial interest?
Well, I've always had an interest all my life. When something strange would happen, I would just blow it off. You know, I wouldn't pay attention to it. But then I started realizing there was something else out there besides us. Mm-hmm. So I started reading about it and looking into it on the internet. I found Ghost Hunters show.
Mm-hmm. I'm familiar with that show.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I watched that a few times.
He was actually on that show a couple of times.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You were aware of that.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I know. I watched it for about a year's worth of episodes, and I wanted to join TAPS since they were a local group. Mm-hmm. And I'd send emails, and finally I went down there, and Steve was there and Brian, and I said, what's going on? You know, they never answer their emails. I'd like to join. And he said, oh, we're like 2 months behind because of filming and everything.
Yeah, that's true.
He said they were just getting around to it. But I went to their website, and I found out that Keith and Sandra and Carl were having a class at the Learning Connection, and that was it for me. I went to the class, and I talked to them afterwards, and I wanted to join, and I did.
Oh, very glad that you joined us. Very glad. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a whole different story now with the Atlantic Paranormal Society. Since the TV show, they are so swamped with emails, and it's really difficult to handle. They are very, very, very backed up, and which is why in our own organization, New England Anomalies Research, we do try to get out there and do field work and help people. And we have somewhat of a more flexible schedule, of course. Mm-hmm. And so you've had some experiences in the paranormal yourself, right? What would be considered paranormal?
Yes, I have.
And could you share some of those with us?
Well,
For example, yeah, the Governor Sprague
Governor
Mansion.
Sprague Mansion in Cranston. I went there for a ghost party. They have it every year, like the last Wednesday and Thursday of October. And the whole mansion's decorated for Halloween, and you can go on a tour, all the rooms, and they have entertainment. They had Michael Bell, an author, Food for the Dead, vampire author.
Yeah.
And he spoke a little, and they had Rory Raven. He put on a show, very entertaining. He's a mind reader. And then we went on a tour of the mansion, and while Rory Raven was performing, I was standing in a doorway, leaning against the doorway, and I was admiring a mirror in the dining room, and it was all like gilded gold, very ornate. And I was looking at it, and as I was looking at it, I saw something come through the air and go right into the mirror, and it was like a fog to me. I don't know how to explain it. It was like a grayish fog, and it went right through the air and into the mirror, and I was stunned, so I told someone, what I just saw, and they said, he was a paranormal investigator, and he said, you just saw a spirit that went into the mirror. So I'm like, okay, I'm a little skeptical. So then we went upstairs, and we were in one of the bedrooms where they had put all the, in those days they had consumption, and a lot of people, passed away from it.
Right,
and
tuberculosis, yeah.
Whenever they were going to die, they'd put them up on the 3rd floor away from everybody. And we went in that room, and there was another couple there with a digital camera, and they took my picture, not meaning to take me. They were taking a picture of the room. And they came up to me and said, is this you? And showed me the camera. And in it, I said, yeah, that's me. I had all black on, and next to me was this white form, glowy white form, milky, like a shape. And every other picture I was in, it was there somewhere in front, behind, on the side of me. So I went again to the same man that I had spoken to earlier, and he saw the pictures, and he said, it's a spirit, it's following you around. And I'm like, okay, but...
Did they give you copies of the picture?
They said they would. I gave them my name and address and phone, but they never did.
Oh.
They never did.
That's too bad. I'd like to see those pictures.
Yeah.
Now, Dolores, you were obviously aware of the reputation of the Sprague Mansion being haunted, but when you went there, were you really expecting to experience anything yourself?
No.
No?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
So you were a bit taken aback when you actually did,
Yeah, it's something to see. I knew. Also, they said the basement was very. I don't know if it was negative or there was spirits in the basement. The wine cellar was down there, so I attempted to go down the cellar, down the basement. I went down like 3 steps, and something told me, "Don't do this." I got a feeling in my gut, and I had to go back up the stairs. I couldn't go down there. So
other people have had that feeling
I got that feeling really strong. And also,
paranormal investigators or sensitives who said, gave you this information about the basement?
it was during the night. They said they were just giving a tour of the house, and they said you can go into the basement. There's a wine cellar down there, and they've had experiences down there, but I can't specifically remember what. I just remember at the time that it wasn't for me. But they also had about 7 or 8 EVPs that they had taken, and they had written down, you know, where in the mansion it was and what they were saying, and I listened to them, and so you could make out the voices. And
now, maybe you could explain a little bit for those who may not be familiar with the term EVP, what that means.
Electronic voice phenomena. It's voices that appear on a recording. Like if we're talking right now and recording it, when we play it back, there'll be another voice there that wasn't there before. It's a spirit.
And you may not hear it audibly. Yeah.
You can't hear it when it's happening, but you can hear it on the tape being played back.
Yeah.
So
very interesting.
Yeah, one of them.
Usually you can't hear it while you're recording.
Yeah, there are exceptions.
We have, yes, there are exceptions. We have actually heard EVPs.
You've heard it being
before we've actually played the tape back with, you know, during the time that we were actually doing the recording.
And nobody was there, just you guys.
That's a rarity.
Yeah.
That's a rarity.
It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. That's very interesting.
Well, we were at the Sprague Mansion a couple of weeks ago, and you said you caught an EVP. Remember what you said to me? You don't know why, but time.
Yeah.
You want to know?
We were talking. We were having a conversation, and it was to me. It seemed as if it were a very insignificant EVP, just one word, time, whispered. It didn't really seem to have anything to do with what we were talking about at the time.
Right, but I was sitting on that, whatever that bench, I was sitting on the
Right.
stairs,
Right.
and I kept looking at the clock, at the grandfather clock. There was something about it, and I was thinking of it after because I was really looking at that clock. And then when you told me that the other day, I was like, I thought about it, and I said, I don't know if it's connected, but something drew me to the clock, the big grandfather clock. Right, that was right.
Well, that would be a case for your subconscious imprinting on my tape, I think.
Which in itself would be a case of
Just-
paranormal
yeah.
phenomena,
Well,
I would
certainly.
say. Yeah.
Certainly, that could be construed as paranormal.
So you believe the Sprague Mansion is haunted by Charlie the Butler, as
No.
some people say? No.
No, that's just, that's, I guess there was a butler there at one time, but
Right.
they don't know if it's, you know, she just calls it like his ghost party
Right.
in October. Come and see Charlie the Butler. He'll make an
Right.
appearance. And actually,
That's what they
a
say.
man did come and tell me he was Charlie the Butler.
Oh, really?
I hope it was a man.
We
We
hope
sat
so.
and talked to him, but now that I think of it,
And you didn't see him again?
no.
No?
Nope.
Wow.
He came out and talked to me, and I never saw him. And the next year, I didn't see him last year. The year before last year, they didn't have it.
Yeah.
But I didn't see him. But yeah, now that I think of it, and he was an older gentleman, very distinguished, dressed in the period clothing.
Yeah. Of course, in the early 19th century, Amasa Sprague, he didn't die there, but he was bludgeoned to death, and his body was brought there right afterwards. So some people think that may have to do with the haunting.
Yeah.
But anyway,
His
tell us-
gravestone's there, isn't it?
Yeah, they do have his gravestone there.
Yeah.
And nice decoration. But
Yeah.
yeah. But you've had other paranormal experiences apart from the Sprague Mansion, correct? Say the Ladd Observatory.
You actually do volunteer work?
Yes,
Am I correct? At this?
Well, no, I belong to an astronomy club in Situate, North
Oh, I
Situate,
see.
Rhode Island, the Skyscrapers Astronomy Organization.
Right.
Society. I'm sorry. Society.
Okay.
And I volunteer up there a lot.
Yeah.
We have 4 big telescopes, and we look at the planets and the stars, and I think there might be a spirit up there too.
Really?
One of our members passed away, and he was cremated. He wanted his ashes there at the observatory, and they did put them there. There was little pieces of bone and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've never seen it. They try to scam me and go, watch out, that's what the bones are. But, yeah, but things have occurred up there.
Yeah, it would be
At the
interesting to
Ladd
do some
Observatory?
EVP
No, at
work there.
Seagrave.
In Seagrave, on Situate,
Observatory
yeah.
off Peep Toad Road. There have been things that occurred there.
I've heard of UFO sightings in that area. Off
I don't
Peep Toad
think
Road and-
anybody, I don't know if anybody in
I've
my
heard of
group
them.
ever, you know, ever saw anything, but they've seen paranormal things. But one night, a man came to the observatory, and he said that 25 years ago, his father saw a UFO go over St. Joseph's Church
Really?
in Situate, and it looked like a locomotive.
Oh,
So-
wow.
A UFO that looks like a locomotive.
That's a new one on me.
Yeah, I never saw him again either.
Really? Oh, wow. Some mysterious disappearances.
Well, we have a good group up there. We cater to the public, so.
Yeah. Getting back to the Ladd Observatory for a moment, I've heard that the Ladd Observatory, part of Brown University in Providence, is haunted by the ghost of H.P. Lovecraft.
Quite possible. There's something there.
Something there?
I believe so.
What have you experienced there?